Hello all, welcome to Feel Good Club. We're going to do a blend Vinyasa class today. My name is Anik. I'm so honored that you're here. We're going to make it fun, we're going to make it dynamic, and we're just going to go right away, starting here onto our knees. Spine is nice and straight. All you have to do is roll the shoulders back and down, away from the ears. And we'll start out by extending the left hand out to the side. You want to lift those fingers up as much as you can. So you're almost flexing your palm intensely. And from there, lowering the shoulders, relaxing so we can inhale, reach the right hand overhead, grab for the left ear. And on the exhale, gently letting the head tilt to the right. You'll feel a deep stretch in the neck, in the shoulder, in the arm. We'll stay here just for 5 breaths. Just allowing the weight of our arm to do the work. Feeling how the muscles relax more and more with time. One more breath. Exhale, release. Inhale, reach the arm overhead and lower it down. We'll go for the other side. So once again, flexing those fingers as much as you can, reaching the right hand overhead, grabbing your ear. And on the exhale, that is where the head tilts to the left. Deep stretch in the side of the leg, in the side of the neck, in your arm. Keep flexing those fingers. You have 3 more breaths here. One more. Inhale, reach that hand up, and exhale down. We'll clasp the fingers together, place them behind the head to our base of your skull, and from there, you allow the hands to support the head as you extend the head up and let it fall slightly back, opening up the chest, opening up the shoulders, and on the exhale, bringing the elbows together, rounding your spine, curling forward. Inhale, back up, opening up the chest, arching the back, and exhale, rounding forward. We're going to do this one more time. Inhale, opening up the chest, deep back bend, and rounding your spine, hunching our back. Inhale, arms overhead, and exhale, side bend to the right. If you want, you can bring the elbow down towards the floor, or just stay here, hand behind the head, opening up the shoulder. Inhale, reach up and over for the other side. Now it's right hand overhead. Option to lower the elbow down more and more. Inhale, arms overhead, and gently moving into our tabletop position for cat-cow. Starting off here, stacking the limbs, hands directly under the shoulders, knees directly under the hips, and starting by dropping the belly, gazing up, deep breath in, and on the exhale, rounding the spine, tucking the head down. Again, keep going. Inhale for cow. Exhale for cats. Keep going on your own, going as fast or as slow during this process. Stay with the breath. Exhale, rounding, and starting to rotate the head, the neck, the hips towards both directions. From here, we're going to stay in our tabletop position and just extend the right leg out to the side. If this is too much, you can always stay with both knees on the mat. More intense would be extending that right leg up. We're going to start with thread the needle. So inhale, right hand reaches up. Exhale, thread under the left arm, Lower onto the shoulder, onto your ear. Left hand can stay up and overhead or wrap behind the back. 3 deep breaths here. Relax the neck, dump the weight onto the shoulder. If your leg is extended, continue to engage, placing weight into the foot. And on your next exhale, we'll lower the left hand down. Inhale, right hand towards the sky. Same thing with the other side. Bringing the knee down. You can keep your knees on the floor once again, or extend that left leg out. Reach the left hand up. Exhale to the right, onto your shoulder. Right hand overhead or behind your back. 3 deep breaths. One more. Exhale, right hand lowers. Inhale, left hand reaches up. Exhale, down. Staying on the knees, we're going to go for a puppy pose. That means the hands slide forward, and you want your chest to lower down. So if this is already a lot, you can stay on your forehead. If not, drop the belly, the chest, gazing down. Either staying on the chin or on your forehead. Deep stretch. For those who are very, very flexible here, you can also bring your elbows closer together and lift your hands up in prayer. I'll show you a variation to make it fun is to curl the toes under, keep the chest on the floor. If your chest is not on the floor, you should not take the variation just yet. So curling the toes under, lifting the knees. And lowering down when you're ready. Dropping the hips forward into Sphinx pose. Bringing the elbows towards the chest, shoulders away from the ears. Go ahead and circle your head to the right, to the left. In both directions, taking it as slow or as fast as you like. And when you're ready, lowering down into cobra, legs together. Inhale, open the chest, lift the chin, pushing, applying weight into the tops of your toes. From here, you can lift your hands up, no problem. You can go ahead and try, or reach the hands back, pull towards the heels, open up. Maybe the toes lift up. And when you're ready, curl the toes under and down dog. Walk it out. One knee at a time. You can move your hips side to side, stretch the belly, the glutes, the hamstrings, and we'll walk back into Malasana. This is also known as a Buddha squat. We want our heels far apart, squatting low, hands together in front of our chest. From here, I'm not dumping into my flexibility. I'm still engaging my legs, my glutes. So I'm pushing into my heels, lifting an inch higher than where my flexibility resides. You can stay here or extend the right hand onto the floor, deep side bend, or reach for a bind behind the back around the leg. Keep the knees moving outwards, opening up the chest. And when you're ready, moving to the other side. For the other hand, lowering, and maybe a bind if that's available to you. Open up the arms and gently walk forward, down dog. Go ahead, shake out your head and walk the feet towards the hands. Inhale, Ardha, which means your hands are either on your knees, on your ankles, or on the floor. Straight back. And on the exhale, you can bend your knees, place the belly on the thighs, allow your head to fold forward, shake out your head. And from here, we're going to clasp the fingers together behind our back. Inhale, extend the legs and the chest, gaze forward. On the exhale, if you need, bend the knees. We're going to fold down, hands away from your back. From here, all we're going to do is bend the right knee, lower the right shoulder, twisting, opening up our chest, stretching the back of our left leg. And other side, left knee bends, open the right side. Back to center. For more stability, you can separate your toes, your feet a little bit wider, and then try again. Bend the right knee, open up the side of your body, and then to the right. One more time, keep those hands pulled away from your back. And to the right. Release the hands, bend both knees, ragdoll, shake out your head, bending, really loosening up the whole body. And then inhale, rising up. Shoulders right, roll all the way back, palms facing forward. Beautiful. We're going to start the first flow. We're going to start out slow and start to pick up the pace from here. Go ahead, inhale, reach the arms overhead. Cactus, push the hips forward, open the chest. Inhale, arms overhead, and swan dive forward. Inhale for Ardha, hands on the knees, the ankles, or the floor. And exhale, chaturanga. You can either walk or hop into your chaturanga, which is high plank, low plank. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Start out by reaching the right leg all the way up, placing it on the outside of the right hand. Lower the back heel. Warrior one. Cactus the elbows. Exhale, down. Go ahead, half vinyasa. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Left leg towards the front. Warrior one, angling the back heel. Exhale, down. Half in. Go ahead, staying with the breath. Right away, right leg reaches forward. Warrior one, Virabhadrasana one. Remember, you can take any variation you'd like, especially in Warrior one. You can cactus those arms. You can circle them back. Anything to make it fun, to make it engaging. And going for our last side. Right leg reaches up, Warrior one. And left side, go ahead. Half vinyasa, our arms are getting all the heat and the engagement possible. And half vinyasa. Excellent, we're done. We're gonna go to the top of the mat. Walk our feet to Uttanasana. That means bringing the big toes together, slight wedge between the heels, bend the knees, hips back. Arms overhead. Stay low. Make sure you can still see your toes from here. You're tucking the pelvis underneath. Shoulders away from the ears. Palms facing each other. Deep breath in. Exhale, open arm twist towards the right. Inhale, in front. Exhale, to the left. Inhale, in front. Half chair, meaning the fingers graze back. And we open up the chest. Find a point on the floor to focus on in front of you. And lift the heels. If you can, lower the hips even more. Stay here if you're able to, and reach those arms overhead. Drop the heels, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, Ardha. If you would like, go for crow or straight back to chaturanga. Crow is just an option to make it more engaging, more fun. Onto the hands. And shooting back. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Right leg reaches up. And stepping forward, supported crescent. Arms overhead. Go ahead, cactus the elbows, open up the chest. And from here, moving into full crescent, lifting the back knee, stay here. Engage the inner thighs, stretch as much as you want. You can move your weight side to side, front to back. And moving into our lightning bolt. From here, warrior 3, hands together, lifting the back leg. Find your engagement, ground into your ankle, all the way up. Now you can bend that standing leg, lower the left hand, dragonfly twist. Gazing up towards the right hand, we'll lower our hips, place weight on the outside of both of our feet so we can lower down, gaze towards the back of the mat. Inhale, dragonfly twist. And from here, wild thing. So keep your legs stacked until your foot can move back. And push into the heels, open the chest. We're going to go for a big transition. From here, high plank. And you have the option to either lower the right knee onto the mat, left hand overhead, or extend to the left for fallen triangle. From here, lower the hips onto the mat, bend your right knee, and fold towards the left leg, Janu Shavasana. You'll feel it in the lower back, in the back of your leg. Just for a moment before we move to the top of the mat, three-legged dog. Lower the foot, down dog. We'll go for the other side. Left leg reaches up, stepping forward, supported crescent. From supported crescent, we'll move into crescent, and then lightning bolt towards the front, shifting the weight forward, and with control, rising up, warrior 3. Hold it here, engage the inner thighs, and then bend the standing leg, dragonfly twist. From here, we'll go onto the outer edges of both feet, drop the hips, hand moves back, and back to dragonfly twist. Stack your legs if you'd like first for a side plank or a side tree, and then wild thing. Hips up and over. Next, that big transition, either lowering the left knee for gate pose or extending to the side. Go against gravity. Lower the hips, bend the left knee, reach the arms overhead, and forward fold towards the right leg. Hands back to the top of the mat. Three-legged dog, and if you would like, go ahead, half vinyasa with the leg lifted. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, walk or hop or handstand to the top of the mat. Inhale, Ardha. Exhale, forward fold. Maybe you grab the backs of your heels, maybe you grab your big toes, and fold in. Come back to Utkatasana, chair pose. Big toes touch, slight wedge between the heels. Reaching the arms overhead back to our anchor. Deep breath in. Exhale, right hand towards the back of the mat. Inhale, to the front. Exhale, open arm twist, left. Inhale, to the front. Exhale, half chair. Open up the chest, find your balance, lift the heels. Reach the arms overhead, drop the hips, and Uttanasana to the front. Inhale, Ardha. Option for crow or shoot back directly, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Right leg reaches up. Step forward, supported crescent, cactus, into your full crescent, lightning bolt, warrior 3, dragonfly twist, starting to go faster, outer edges, dragonfly twist, wild thing, and go ahead directly, fallen triangle to the left. Maybe you can grab a bind if that's accessible, or you keep the foot on the floor. If you can always try to lift the foot up and over. And when you're ready, lowering down. For your Janu Shirshasana, right knee is bent. And half vinyasa at the top. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Left leg reaches up. Stepping forward, supported crescent. Cactusing the arms. Full crescent. Lightning bolt. Warrior 3. Dragonfly twist. Outer edges. Dragonfly twist. Wild thing. Fallen triangle directly to the side. Option to grab a bind and lift all the way up. Lowering down and going for Janu Shirshasana towards the right leg. And back to the top, half vinyasa. We have one more to go. You got this. Right leg reaches up. Stepping forward, supported crescent. This time, let's do a half splits here. Flex the front foot, lower the forehead. Crescent all the way up. Lightning bolt. Warrior 3. Dragonfly twist. Outer edges. Let's go directly to wild thing from here. Fallen triangle towards the left. Lowering down. Folding towards the left foot. And half vinyasa. We're almost there. We'll go for the other side. Left leg reaches up. Supported crescent. Cactus. Normal crescent. Lightning bolt. Warrior 3. Dragonfly twist. Outer edges. Wild thing. And fallen triangle. Janu Shirshasana. And half vinyasa at the top. To down dog. And walk the feet towards the hands till you can lower onto your back. And go for a little pose. Rolling onto your back, knees to your chest. Massaging your back, the upper glutes. Maybe the nose will go towards the knees. And from here, we're going to go for some gentle twists. Starting off by extending your arms, knees together, fall to the right, so that the gaze can go to the left. If you would like, you can always place a hand on the knees. You can always wrap the top leg around the bottom leg, staying here. One more breath. And gently bringing the knees together towards your chest. And going to the other side. Once again, knees fall to the left, gaze falls to the right, option to close down the eyes, option to place a hand on the knees, option to wrap the legs around, going for a deeper twist. Stay here and follow your breath. Bring your awareness to your body, to your respiration, to your state of being. You can gently untangle the legs, bring them to center, wrap your arms around, curl in, and grab your big toes for happy baby. Lifting the heels, you can rock side to side, and gently extend your legs one at a time, two at the same time, making it playful. And we'll move into candlestick. From candlestick, we'll go into plow. Just make sure you do not move your head, your neck at this point. So all we do is start off with candle. This means extending our body in an L shape, hands on the floor. Go ahead and flex your feet if you can. Push the palms into the mat. If this is comfortable for you, stay here. Abs are engaged. If you'd like that challenge, go ahead and use your momentum to lift the hips up. Do not move your neck from here on out. Make sure that you're pushing the hips towards your face and the feet in the opposite direction. Staying here, bringing those elbows closer and closer together if you need for your support. When you're ready, you can drop the feet overhead for plow. Keep the hips over the shoulders. Use your hands if necessary to apply a bit of pressure, or you can clasp the fingers together, bring the shoulders underneath, and stay here. Some other variations that are really, really fun is to reach the arms overhead, grabbing your toes. And lastly, no matter where you place your hands, you can always attempt to lift your legs up into a shoulder stand. Relax your neck here, maybe closing down the eyes. Eventually bending the knees, placing them next to your temples. And gently, we'll begin to uncoil, release the hands, and you can extend the legs as you lower down vertebrae by vertebrae onto your back, taking your time, feeling all of the muscles in your back release. Allowing the feet to lower down and moving into our fish pose. Opening up the chest, coming onto the top of your head. Weight is onto the elbows, and 5% is on the top of your head. And lower down onto your back. From here, you can pull your knees towards the chest, nose towards the knees, and lower back onto your spine. We'll move into a big stretch for your thighs, right leg over the left, not supported pigeon. What we're doing is stacking the knees. From here, you're gonna grab your ankles and pull towards you. Do not drop the heels, keep them lifted, stay here. Find that engagement. Hold it.
If you need, you can grab the outsides of your feet and pull in, but it will be more intense. So choose wisely. Deep breaths. And from here, you can curl in towards the knees and back down. Go ahead and switch legs. Before you do, if you want, you can always take a little break. Bring the feet down and windshield wipe to each side. Drop the knees side to side. And then go for the other side. Left leg over the right fully, grabbing the ankles and pulling in. Lifting the heels up, feeling that deep stretch. And it's very, very, very possible that you feel this side different from the other. Bend the elbows to pull in deeper. And if you'd like, curl in towards the knees. And back down. Continue with your deep breaths. And release. Windshield wipe to each side. And knees together towards the chest. We'll begin to roll along our spine till we're seated all the way up. From here, we're going to go for a deer pose, which really helps to stretch the thighs and the hips. There are some variations you can take, like placing a pillow behind your back. So choose what works for you, and I'll give you some variations that you can try, and then you choose what works best. We'll start out with the right leg in front, just like this. Left knee is tucked inside the foot. It creates basically a square shape here. You can start here, applying pressure on the knees, trying to push them down towards the floor. Or, next variation, hands behind on the mat, letting the head fall back. Next variation means tucking the pelvis underneath and lowering down onto your elbows. Your head can fall back once again. Open up the chest. Next variation, you can lower all the way down onto your back. Keep the knees down towards the floor, and an option to reach the arms overhead, opening up the chest. Stay here. Deep breaths. Keep pulling those knees down towards the floor. And gently release the arms. Begin to curl the chin towards the chest and rise back up. We're just going to do a small adjustment where you shift your weight forward and lower down. If you'd like, you can always walk your hands one over the other to each side, feeling the stretch in the lower back. Feeling the difference. And walking your hands back to center. And windshield wiping to each side with the knees. Same thing with the other side, deer pose. Left knee in front, right knee tucked into the sole of that foot. Bringing the hip bones down, staying here, spine straight, or you can start to go for those variations, seeing what works for you on this side. Maybe you just stay here, maybe you lower onto the elbows, and you stay here. Maybe you lower all the way down onto your back, and maybe even reach the arms overhead. Find what works for you, and always try something different. Like if you naturally put your right arm over the left, try it differently. See if your brain can process it differently, how it feels. Feel that stretch in the hip, in the thigh, maybe even in the knee. And deep breaths. Two more breaths. And when you're ready, you can lower the hands down. Gently begin to rise up and out of the position, shifting the weight forward, going for that gentle fold. And if it feels right, walking your hands to the right, going for that deep stretch. And to the left, feeling the difference here. And walking the hands to center. Go ahead, windshield wipe to each side. We're almost towards the end. And we'll go for Paschimottanasana next, which means your legs are fully extended. From here, if it's too much to sit with your legs extended, you can try placing a block under the hips, and it can help to elevate and create an easier fold. So when you're ready, make sure that the hip bones are on the floor. If you need to get extra booty out of the way so that your bones actually touch the mat, go for it. And then we're going to start with inhaling the arms overhead, straight back. And when you fold, imagine someone is pulling your hands forward. We're going to stay with the straight back to start. So wherever your back begins to round, that's where you stop. If you can grab the outsides of your feet, go for it. If you can grab your ankles, go for it. Maybe you have a strap that you're using. You can use that around your feet to pull in. Wherever you're at, stay there. We're going to go for 3 more breaths here. You can tuck your chin in towards the chest to help with the upper back and lower spine. Inhale, reach the arms overhead. And once again, folding forward. Seeing what works for you. Last time. Inhale, reach the arms overhead and folding forward. I'll show you a variation for those who have very deep forward folds. You can grab a block like this one, place it in front of your feet like that, so that when you fold down, you're all the way towards your ankles. This time you can round the spine if it helps to fold in, but always focusing on folding from the base. And release. Beautiful. Go ahead, windshield wipe to each side with the knees. And we'll go for some gentle twists before our Shavasana. We'll start out by bending the right knee in front of our hips. The left heel can either be placed in front of the knee here or over the knee. Make sure the hip bones are on the floor once again. Left hand is going to be placed behind your back on the floor for support, like a kickstand. And right hand reaches up overhead on the inhale. Exhale, hooking it over the knee and placing your fingers together in a mudra, depending on how you feel. An option as well to placing your hand down onto your hips and twisting, gazing back. Every time you inhale, you extend the spine even taller. Every time you exhale, you twist and gaze back even more. You also have the option of placing your arm inside of the legs and grabbing a bind behind the back. Staying here. One more breath. And release. Beautiful. All you can do here is switch sides or keep your feet exactly where they're at for the other side, like that. And same thing, make sure your hips are on the floor, heel either placed in front or behind the knee. Right hand behind on the floor for support. We inhale, left hand overhead, hooking the elbow over the knee, going for the twist, gazing back. Option to drop the hand onto the hip and focus on the spine, on the breathing, using those exhales to twist, gazing back even further like an owl. If you'd like, once again, you can wrap your arms around, under your leg, behind your back, finding that bind. Inhale, gaze forward, release, and windshield wipe to each side. If there's any movements that you'd like to do before we finish, go ahead and take them. Otherwise, we're going to go straight into Shavasana, extending the legs, lowering down onto your back. Extending your limbs. Option to close down the eyes or just lower your gaze. And gently slow down the breathing. Come back to the breathing purely through the nose, allowing the exhales to be longer than the inhales. Resting your physical body so you can notice what's going on in the mind, just as an observer without judging. If you would like to stay longer, you can pause the video, you can come back later. Otherwise, you can finish here with me, gently beginning to wake up the body, the toes, the fingers, the wrists, the ankles. Turning the legs in and out, head side to side. Arms reach up and over, big stretch, knees towards your chest. And you can begin to roll all the way up to seated, crossing your legs, spine nice and tall, hands in prayer, and thank you so much for being here. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you.